What happens when you stop feeding a narcissist the reaction they crave? When the silence becomes louder than your words and the game they've played for so long suddenly stops? They don't just walk away, they unravel. Welcome to Brainy Narcissists, where we expose the truth behind the manipulation without the sugarcoating. In today's video, we're diving deep into the chaos that unfolds when you finally stop playing their game. From panic to projection, from fake indifference to desperate control, they don't handle your strength in silence the way you think they will. If you've ever been made to feel guilty for choosing peace, or wondered why a narcissist suddenly turned cold when you stopped reacting, this one's for you. Because walking away isn't weakness, it's power. And today, we'll show you exactly what happens when you take that power back. Let's begin. Narcissists don't just want control, they need it. Your every reaction, every emotion, every move, it feeds their sense of dominance. But when you stop reacting, when you step out of their carefully constructed game, it's like pulling the rug from under their ego. Suddenly, they're no longer in charge of your emotions. They can't trigger you, manipulate you, or predict how you'll respond. And that unpredictability, it terrifies them. Because the moment you become calm, quiet, and detached, they lose the script. And without a script, they lose control. They might act unbothered, they might even laugh it off, but inside, they're panicking. You're not playing the role anymore, and that means they have to face the one thing they've always feared most: powerlessness. To them, your silence is not peace, it's defiance. And nothing scares a narcissist more than losing their ability to control how you feel. When you stop reacting, a narcissist doesn't surrender, they escalate. It's like watching a magician panic when the audience stops clapping. They double the tricks, hoping to win you back. Suddenly, they're sorry. They didn't mean it. They remember your favorite things. They call, text, maybe even cry. But don't be fooled, it's not love, it's strategy. This is the love bombing phase: intense affection, fake vulnerability, and promises of change, all designed to break your resolve. And if that doesn't work, the mask slips. They guilt trip you. You're heartless, you've changed, you're abandoning me. They gaslight you. I never said that. You're overreacting. You're the problem. Because if charm won't trap you, confusion will. Their manipulation becomes louder, more dramatic, more desperate. Why? Because you stopped feeding them, and now they're starving for the control they once had. But the moment you see this for what it is, you win. When a narcissist realizes they can't control you anymore, they don't take responsibility. They rewrite the story. Suddenly, they're the victim. You're the cold one, the heartless one, the villain who abandoned them without reason. They twist the narrative so skillfully, it almost sounds believable, even to you. They'll say things like, I did everything for you, or I'm the only one who ever cared. But what they really mean is, I can't stand that you've chosen peace over my chaos. By painting themselves as the wounded party, they gain sympathy, attention, and sometimes new supply. They want others to believe they were mistreated, left behind, broken, because if they're the victim, they don't have to change. And you become the scapegoat. But don't fall for it. Choosing distance isn't cruelty. Choosing peace isn't selfishness. It's survival and it's power. When you stop engaging, narcissists don't reflect. They retaliate, quietly, strategically, and cruelly. Your silence is a threat, not just to their control over you, but to the image they've carefully built for everyone else. So, they do what they do best: spin the story. Suddenly, you're unstable, cold, selfish. They paint you as the villain in rooms you've never even walked into. To friends, family, co-workers, anyone who will listen, they drop subtle lies wrapped in fake concern. I tried everything, but they shut me out. I don't know what happened to them. It's not about truth, it's about control. By turning others against you, they reclaim the upper hand, because if no one believes your side, they stay on top. But here's the twist: you don't need to defend yourself. Their lies reveal more about them than you. Let your actions speak louder than their stories ever could. When you finally break free and go silent, the narcissist doesn't back off. They turn up the volume. Suddenly, they remember every button you've got, and they press each one like it's a game. They might try jealousy, flaunting someone new, hoping it stings. Or anger, picking fights, dragging your name through the mud. Or pity, I'm falling apart without you. You're really going to leave me like this? Because for them, it's not about love, it's about control. And control needs a reaction. They don't care how you respond, tears, rage, confusion, as long as you're back on their playing field. But here's the truth they can't handle. Your silence is your power. Every time you don't react, every time you choose calm over chaos, you remind them they've lost what they fear most, influence over you. And nothing terrifies a narcissist more than being irrelevant. They'll say it doesn't matter. They'll act like you were never that important. Like your silence, your absence, your strength means nothing to them. But behind the mask of indifference, a storm is raging. Because the one thing a narcissist can't stand is losing control. Pretending not to care is their final defense. It protects their image. It hides the desperation. It says, you didn't win, even though deep down they know you did. They may post, party, or parade around like you never existed. But it's not peace, it's performance. And the audience? Anyone who will help them keep up the illusion. What they don't realize is true detachment can't be faked. You didn't just walk away. You stopped needing their validation. You stopped playing the game. And that's the one thing they can't forgive because it's the one thing they'll never understand. The moment you stop feeding their ego, a narcissist starts hunting. Not for healing, not for closure, but for a new supply. They can't sit with silence. They can't face the void. So they move quickly, desperately, toward the next person who'll admire them, believe them, validate them. And to the outsider, it might look like they've moved on, like they're happy, unbothered, thriving. But don't be fooled. This isn't growth, it's escape. The new person isn't a partner, they're a placeholder, a mirror to reflect back the image the narcissist needs to survive. Because without that reflection, they feel empty, powerless, forgotten. Your silence didn't just bruise their pride, it forced them to face what they fear most, being irrelevant. So they scramble to fill the space. But deep down they know, no amount of new attention can replace the control they lost over you. At first, they pretend they're fine. They laugh louder, post more, act unfazed. But the truth creeps in slowly, they're unraveling. Because narcissists don't exist in isolation, their entire identity is built on reflection, on being seen, admired, feared, or adored. Without an audience, there's no performance. Without control, there's no purpose. And that's when the cracks begin to show. When no one's reacting. When you're not chasing, explaining, or justifying. When your silence becomes louder than their manipulation ever was. It forces them to sit with the very thing they've spent a lifetime avoiding, themselves. No mask, no applause, no control. Just silence. And in that silence, the persona starts to collapse. Because without someone to play the game with, the narcissist isn't a winner. They're just alone, and nothing terrifies them more than becoming invisible. Have you ever gone silent on a narcissist and watched their world shift? Share your experience in the comments. Your story might help someone realize they're not crazy, they're just finally free. If this video gave you clarity, hit that like button, subscribe to Brainy Narcissist, and share this with someone who needs the strength to walk away. Remember, your silence isn't weakness, it's power. Use it wisely.